Hello and welcome to another Purveyor of Light Capture One quick tip. Today we're going to just run through a basic edit. It's been requested that I don't do enough Capture One content, and so we're going to go ahead and do a couple edits here just to work through the workflow. And so let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so like all photos, first thing I do is look at the entire frame. And then I determine what the problems are, if there are any, and what distracts and what I'd like to see changed in the photo. And the first thing that comes to my eye here is this a nice portrait. But I may have put just a little bit too much headroom in the shot. So I'm going to go ahead and work to the crop tool here. So I'm going to select that. And it's not going to be a major crop change, but I just want to reduce the head space. Okay. And that's going to help put her in the more of the main frame there. Like I said, it's not a big change, but I like that framing better. So there we go. We definitely have a faded look going on here. No true black points I see. We're a little bit flat. So I'd like to put some, contrast and that back into the image. So I'm going to go to the develop module here, and I can see on the histogram here, we've got empty space on the left and we got huge empty space on the right. And that just means no data. And so looking at this thing, that explains why this thing doesn't have a black point, and why there is a faded look. So I'm going to come down here and search for my levels tool. I'll drag that out for you here so you could concentrate on what I'm working on. And again, it's just a representation of the histogram, so I can work on the tool using the levels graphically. Another thing I like about Capture One is this here. Okay, so I'm going to remove and get this a little more compressed. And I'm going to bring in the dark points. Okay. And you can see how much of an effect I can have on the photo just by doing this. And you don't want to be too heavy-handed, but I think that's a pretty good adjustment right there. I could do the midpoint if I wish. Until, again, this is an aesthetic. Okay, and I think that's pretty good right there. And I think that's made a very, very big improvement already. If we just turn around and use the before and after here, you can see already how much of a difference we've made on the photo. Okay, little changes make big differences. All right, so the other thing too is I've noticed the skin has been affected a little bit slightly. Not much, but I wanna work with the skin a little bit here. We put the tool back, and yeah, I'm gonna come into the skin. So I'm gonna come into the color editor, which is the next tab over, and I have the color editor here, which is the basic tab, the advanced tab, and the skin tab. Okay, the skin one is for unifying color, skin corrections, and so forth. Putting the skin together makes very nice for portraits. So the first thing I'm going to do is select that. I'm going to come down to the eyedropper tool here. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do that first. Okay. I am now going to go up and make a new layer because I want to do this on a separate layer. So up on the layer things, I'm going to hit the plus key, and that puts it in another lesson. I'm going to label this one skin. Okay. And right now, that's an empty mask skin. Okay. So now I want to put a mask, and so I can isolate just the area I want it affected. In this case, is the skin. So I'm going to use the second tool here called the magic brush. So I'll select that. And what this does is whatever I select over on this side, it'll automatically find similar colors in the portrait and make a mask selection on that automatically. So if I just draw across the chest, okay, and now if I press again, you can see I have a mask that is made just of the skin, just like that. So very easy, convenient tool. So that's one of the great things in Capture One is the magic brush. All right, so now I have just the skin, so I'm on a separate layer. So any adjustments I make will only affect that mask on the skin. Nothing else will be affected on the image. And so now I can come into the color editor, hit the eyedropper. I could select the skin area, and you can see it picked a color range here. Okay, let me go ahead and pull this out for you here so you can concentrate on this. So anything that's within this triangle is going to be affected in the area of the mask. Okay, so in order for me to get all the color range, I'm going to expand it a little bit here by bringing it right out. This way, anything in this range, it'll make things nice and smooth and seamless. Now, the adjustments I'm going to make in here for skin are going to be very subtle. All right, and they may not transfer to the video on YouTube because sometimes the compression on YouTube is just not good enough to pick up small changes. I apologize for that, but there's nothing I can do about YouTube's compression. All right, so this is the area I'm going to be affecting. And I can select the hue, the saturation, the lightness on the amount. I can check the uniformity, like say if she had blotchy skin, different tonations, I can bring the colors together and unify them. Okay, and so that's all done by an out. I'm going to just move the skin up a little bit. Okay, now you can see I pulled it all the way over there. That's too much. And I'm going to just bring it in. I just want to bring it in because I felt her skin was just a little bit too much on the yellow side. So I wanted to lighten it up and look at it. Now, if I want to see the before or after, okay, I can just use the Alt or Option key and hold that down. And then when I do that, I can see the before and the after. And again, it may not display on YouTube, but it does here quite a bit. So I've lightened it up here. I'll see how it works on the before or the after. Okay, I think you can look at the skin slightly. You can see I've lightened it up a little bit. Just a better look, skin tone look to me. Okay, and again, I think it looks much, much better. Okay, let's put this tool back. And so now, lastly here, like this is a great portrait. So there's not a lot of work to be done here already. I mean, we made some basic contrast and some color adjustments on the skin. We're looking pretty good. I'm actually liking it just as it is right there. One last thing I may do is I may turn around and just put a little bit of a vignette into this. Now, Capture One has a vignette just like a Lightroom, but it's not flexible enough for me. I can't stand that, you know, the only option is put the vignette on and then the strength, and you see the four corners go dark. I'd like to be a little more creative in the needs of the photo. So, all right, so I'm going to come into my exposure panel again here, and I'm going to take another layer, and I'm going to add another layer, and I'm just going to make an empty one right now, and that's going to give me a layer there, and this is going to be my vignette. Okay, and of course it's not doing anything right now because we haven't done anything on it. So I want to put an area that we're going to work on, and I'm going to select the radial tool. Okay, so I select that, and now I'm going to actually draw a radial selection. Okay, and you'll see anything in red is what I'm going to be affecting. And I can just drag and move this around. So just bear in mind, when I'm selected on it, I'm looking at the area that's not going to be affected, and the area in red is the area that is going to be affected. And I can adjust by pulling out the arms, make it longer, however I want to do. I can even, adjust out if I want to make it fatter. Okay. There. I can even rotate it. So I'll come up to the second row here, and I'll just put a slight rotation on it to it. Come in and drag it down. Okay. And so that's my area that's going to be affected. And if you ever want to see what the mask is, just hold the click down on your mouse and you can see the active mask. And so that's where the area is going to be affected, where it's red. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Now, to do my vignette, it's just simply take the exposure down, and I'm going to go very heavy-handed so you can see how it works. See, that's all the way. So I'm putting a vignette there. Now, of course, I would never do it this heavy. But, again, following the rules of photography, right? And that is, the lightest part of the image is where the eye is going to go to first. So I want that subject to be the main focus. So I just darkened the part of the image. And again, it's not very strong. I only went down 0.45 here. I can hit the Alt or Option key to see the before and the after. Okay. And you can see it's a much nicer vignette. Okay. So I think there we go. There's our before. All right. And our after. I think you can really see the difference between them. Okay. So let me switch to a full screen here. Okay, so there's the before. And there's the after. Okay, so again, we didn't do a lot of heavy lifting on this image. Didn't need to. We did an adjustment on the crop first thing off. We went in and defined a black point. We increased the contrast of the image. We used the levels tool to accomplish all that in 3 easy steps. We turned around and did some color correction on the skin. We smoothed out the skin so it looks good. And we can come in and see everything is buttery and beautiful. So there we go. And I think we've got a really nice portrait. So there you go. Basic workflow edit using Capture One. It's an excellent tool. I highly recommend it. And just a side note, some of you don't care, some of you do. The one great thing about Capture One is it's one of the only products that you don't have to pay a monthly alligator. You can buy the product outright, and then it's yours forever, and you don't have to upgrade ever unless you want to. So, something to be considered. All right. You guys take care. I'll talk to you next week.